As you all know that we can never really know what is going on in this world unless someone tells us, unless someone reveals the truth to us. What we need to focus on is what actually makes sense. Based on everything that we've seen, based on everything that we understand, based on everything that we think we know, what makes sense to believe? We go with what makes sense to believe, right? So don't take what I will say on this video as absolute truth, right? Just try to see if it makes sense. Since we live in a world where, they're not telling us what's going on. I mean, they've just recently exposed some hidden information about UFOs that they should have revealed a long time ago. That tells us that there's a lot that's being hidden from people, right? But tells us that there's a lot that's being hidden from people. Like they don't want to tell us what's going on. Cannot really know why. But obviously there are some people who know some things that they do not want to tell us. So what should we do? We should try to figure out what really makes sense to believe, right? As I found myself in a world that I do not understand, where I'm not being told what the truth really is, I must try to figure out what makes sense to believe. That is really, really important. When you look at this world, do you really believe that every person that you interact with is conscious like you? Each and every person that you interact with is self-aware. They know that they exist. They can think their own thoughts. They can feel, right? They can feel emotions. They can feel pain. They know that they are alive. Do you think that that is true? Like each and every person that you interact with is alive. They are conscious. Or it makes sense to believe that not every human that you interact with is actually conscious. Some of the people that you interact with are NPCs. It's like in a video game, there are NPCs, right? Many video games, there are NPCs. Imagine if you played a video game and you weren't told that there are NPCs. You would think that every character that you see in a video game is controlled by someone outside of that video game. Like that's what you'll assume, right? You think everyone is a player character. So of course, you'd assume that each and every person that you interact with is conscious. But when you look at the way that the world works, you look at how different we are as people. Some people seem to be on autopilot. Some people seem like they weren't supposed to understand some things. Like no matter how you explain some things to these people, they just won't understand you. Some people seem like they don't feel pain. Some people seem like they don't feel emotions. You ask yourself, how can a person unalive people who have not done anything wrong? A person just decide out of nowhere that, yeah, I'm gonna go and unalive people. Oh, I'm gonna unalive this person. I'm gonna unalive this person. Not only am I gonna I'm going to unalive these people, I'm also going to torture them. A person who is capable of feeling pain, who can feel emotions, decide on their own that I'm going to unalive people and I'm going to torture them when I unalive them. Does that make sense to you? Can't we explain what is happening in this world by introducing the idea of non-player characters? The possibility that there might actually be non-player characters. The idea that not every person who's here know that they exist. Some of these people are just programs, and they are here to confuse us, because obviously people are having a negative experience, so of course the non-player characters will then be here to help us. They will actually be here to confuse us. When you start asking the right questions about this world, where are we? What are we supposed to be doing? Non-player characters be like, yeah, mental illness. Yeah, mental illness. I mean, isn't it obvious why we are here? We're here because God created us. We are here because Jesus wants us to be here. Jesus wants to save us. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, huh? We try to put the right people to power, and the NPCs be like, no, this, we're not gonna let that happen. Wouldn't that explain why the majority of people are always wrong? Because when you look at the way that the world works, you realize that it's usually few people who are actually right in any situation. When the majority of people are wrong. It's the minority that's always right. But we all want one thing. We all want the world to be better. But we don't figure out how to make it better. Why do so many people believe lies? You mean to tell me that you're just that intelligent? That's why you see things as they are. You're just so damn intelligent. What if you being able to see what is actually going on has nothing to do with intelligence? You just think that you're more intelligent than other people because most people that you are interacting with are non-player characters, and they're programmed to discourage you. You see, so when you figure out what makes sense, the NPCs are programmed to make you think that you are wrong, right? They're programmed to make you doubt yourself, especially when you're on the right path. Whenever you make the right decision, there will be an NPC that will try to confuse you. No, that's not the right decision. Or they will behave in a way that will make you feel like you're wrong. So even if they don't tell you directly that they think you're wrong, they might behave in a way that will make you think that, maybe I'm wrong. Think about it. Doesn't it feel like this world that we're a part of is controlled? Like things are not like happening randomly. And how will they be able to control this world? By being able to control people that you probably think are real. Like that's the best way to control the world, is to control people that the people who are real think are real. Because that means you're gonna respect everyone's opinion. If a person doesn't agree with you, like, they don't agree with me because, they were raised differently, their experiences were different. But what if they were just programmed to not agree with you, not because they think differently, but because they were programmed to confuse you, especially when you're right? Doesn't that explain why the dumbest people are the most popular people? So that you, as a conscious being, would want to be like them. You'd be like, ish. Okay, it seems like what works is being ignorant here. You know what I mean? What works is just making jokes. What makes is lying to people. So I must be like them, because that's what's actually working. But what if these people are supposed to make you operate at a low level of consciousness? Because the things that are working in this realm are things that keep us in a very low state of consciousness. I've made many videos telling y'all how in this world those who are wrong, those who are bad, those who are mean, those who are selfish win. Those who are right, those who are good, those who are kind lose. What? Why? What if that is because most people are not real, and they are here to deceive you. They are here to keep you in a low state of consciousness. They are here to behave in a way that you will also feel like you must behave, so that you will remain in a low state of consciousness. When you see the bad guys winning, you're like, okay, I gotta be a bad person so that I will also win, because that's what works. But you find that these people are not even real. You know what makes sense. We know how the world should work, but everything is upside down. Why? Why do we keep on voting for the wrong people? Why do we keep on supporting the wrong people? Why is it that the people who are lying to us, the people who are deceiving us, are the people that we support? When I say we, I'm referring to most of us. Like you are able to see that no, the people that most people are supporting are wrong. But most people are not able to see that. They're supporting these people. Why? What if you are being played big time because you don't know what is actually going on? Remember, you thinking that each and every person that's here is conscious, that's an assumption. It's not a fact. No one confirmed to you that each and every person that you interact with is self-aware. So it's an assumption. You are assuming that each and every person that you interact with is self-aware. But there have been so many simulations that have been created where there are NPCs. So you already know that it is possible to create non-player characters. You already know that. In fact, even in this realm, right? They have they've been able to create robots that, if you didn't know they were robots, you think they are conscious. They've been able to do that. I mean, think about it. If they created a robot of a monkey and put it in the wild, do you think other monkeys will be able to say that this is just a robot? They'll think it's a monkey. Like they will have no way of telling that, oh, it's just a robot. And I've seen videos where they've put a decoy, like maybe a hyena that's not real. Not a hyena thought it was real, but I'll be able to see that it's not real. Like as a human, I'll be able to see that it's not real. But other hyenas, you can see them playing with it, thinking that it's real. Until they remove its face, and that's when they start running away. Like, oh, it wasn't real. So how How do you know that the people that you interact with, like all of them are real? How do you know that? And why do you think that? If we are being controlled big time, if they're telling us that there are aliens that live below the sea, I mean, they've just told us that. So that means there's a lot that we do not know. Why are these aliens hiding from us? Obviously, they know that we exist. Obviously they know that we exist. They have technology that surpasses anything that we've ever seen. So maybe they are spying on us. Maybe they have technology that makes them invisible so they can see us, right? Maybe they can shapeshift. Maybe they're the ones who are giving us technology. Anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. So if we live in a world where we are being lied to, we are being deceived, where a lot is being kept away from us, is it illogical to think that we are being manipulated on so many different levels? That even the things that we think are real are not even real, including some people that you think are real. Maybe everything is rigged. Maybe the people that you call celebrities, maybe most of them are not even real. Maybe most of them are made in a lab, Like, there's a lot that is going on here that we are not aware of. So really, if we can see that the things that are happening don't seem to be happening in our favor, like things are not really making sense, it's logical to think that whatever is controlling this world, it doesn't have our best interests at heart, so it will try to manipulate us in so many different ways. The same way that we manipulate animals. If you got chickens, you manipulate these chickens. They're not conscious enough to realize what's going on, but you'll be manipulating them. Because you don't have their best interests at heart. It's about you, right? You want to eat them. I've interacted with a lot of people that I felt were just NPCs, man. You talk to a person and you see that they don't understand you and you are making a lot of sense. Like, you are so right that they should be able to see that you're right, but they don't get you. You're like, how, bro? I don't believe that what I'm telling you is hard to understand. This ain't mathematics, bro. You can speak the language that I'm speaking. You can, it's easy for me to see what makes sense. Why is it that you don't see what makes sense? Isn't it possible that you're just here to confuse me? You're here to steal my energy, because the more I explain myself to you, the more I use energy, right? Never had to explain something to someone that they don't understand. Something that you know is true, but they don't understand, like they don't get you. You use a lot of energy. Like, it takes a lot of energy to explain something that is so obvious that a person should understand, but that they do not understand. Like, it takes a lot of energy. If they continue to disagree with you, even if you're making sense, you're going to use a lot of more energy to try to convince them that you're right. But you find that they don't get you. How do you deal with these kind of people who don't understand you even when you're making a lot of sense? Because a human must be able to understand you if you're making sense. If I'm having a conversation with you and you are wrong about something, you must be, and I'm showing you why you're wrong, you must be able to see that you're wrong. Like, if you're having a conversation with me and I'm wrong about something, I must be able to see that I'm wrong. Especially if you give me, different examples, show me that I'm wrong. I should be able to say that, yeah, but you're right. Why are some people not able to see when they're wrong? Because then some people are not able to see when they're wrong, bro. Like, for real. And you find that their brains seem to be functioning properly. You know, when it comes to other things, they think very rationally, but when it comes to some things, they just don't get you. When you question the existence of God, like, oh, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy. What if they're just NPCs? They're just here to discourage you from thinking. You're not supposed to think. Because think about it. If you are in a world that you don't understand, of course you must ask questions. So of course you must ask yourself if there's a God. And if he wants to be worshipped. If he wants you to follow some rules. And he wants other people to tell you what rules to follow and all that. Like, you must ask yourself if they're not lying to you. That's a sign of intelligence. So if a person says you are going to hell just because you're asking questions, you must ask yourself how they think. Like, what if you're just dealing with an NPC and you think you're dealing with a real person, and you are angry at them because you think they're real, but they're just a non-player character. They're programmed to confuse you. You know, whenever you start thinking rationally, they're there to confuse you. Whenever you want to take the right steps in your life, they're there to confuse you. Whenever you try to evolve, they're there to make you devolve, right? I've been in so many situations where when I start talking about real shit, right? Like, I start going deeper, like no longer talk about like the normal shit that people talk about every day. Like, I go deep, like, let's go deeper. I've been in so many situations where people reacted the same, I remember there's this other girl that was told by someone that I don't believe in God. So this day she was drunk. She called me. They were chilling somewhere, and this guy, she called me. Hey, come. I heard that you don't believe in God. Come to her. Because she thought I was just gonna say things that don't make sense. I was like, okay, fine. Let me come then. And then I went there and I started to tell her why I don't believe in God. She started to behave the same way that each and every person that I've ever debated with about the existence of God behaves, right? Like, the way she reacted reminded me of how each and every person, when I talk to them about why I don't believe that God exists, react. And I was like, huh. It's like this phenomenon, like they call it the Agent Smith effect. Like, whenever you say things that actually make sense, it seems like in the Matrix, Agent Smith will like appear whenever like a person is trying to like wake up, right? He will appear. So it's kind of like that in this world. It's like whenever you say things that actually make sense, people respond the same way. It's like these people, they are being used by someone. It's like there's this person who, whenever you're trying to speak the truth, this person is able to hack their brain so that they can respond to you. How do you deal with NPCs? First thing that you must realize is that chances of you living with non-player characters are like 99 out of 100. I'll be like, it's most likely that we actually do live with non-player characters. And when you look at the way reality works, like, it's very, very likely that there are non-player characters. So if there are non-player characters, you must be aware that they are, or you must be aware that it's possible that they might be non-player characters. So that when you are interacting with people and they start behaving like non-player characters, you'll be like, okay, maybe this is a non-player character. Than to waste your energy on people that are not even real. Because you will waste a lot of energy. Imagine if there are non-player characters in this world. Imagine how much energy you've wasted dealing with these people. Thinking that they are conscious, thinking that they can change, thinking that they can grow, thinking that they can understand you. Because you think they're like you, right? They seem like you, but they're not. So when you are interacting with people, when you're dealing with people and they seem to behave like non-player characters, they seem to not understand things that are very easy to understand, stop giving them your energy. Stop explaining yourself. If you feel like you must over-explain yourself, chances are you're dealing with an NPC. Because we've been here, like people, most people that you interact with are people who have been here for many years, right? They are supposed to see what makes sense. In fact, you don't even have to explain what makes sense to them. Like when I make these videos, I'm not really teaching people anything. I'm telling them what they already think, right? Most people who comment on my videos say, yeah, you think exactly how I think. I used to think that I was crazy, but I see that, I'm not the only one who think this way. That's because conscious people ask the questions that conscious people should ask themselves. So of course they're gonna, all think the same way. Because yeah, if we're in a world that we don't understand, of course we must ask questions. We mustn't just assume that what we're being told is what is actually true. So we're gonna feel the same way. So if you interact with a person and they've never even looked at life the way that you look at it, like at all, they don't seem to understand you, you must ask yourself if they are actually real. Because why? Why shouldn't a human ask themselves the questions that you've been asking yourself since you were born? And these questions that conscious people ask themselves, these are questions that are interesting to ask. These are the questions that they want to explore. So you interact with the person, like, yeah, why do you think we're here? But like, okay, let me open the Bible. You're like, what? I don't want you to open the Bible. I want you to tell me why you think we're here. Don't stop opening the Bible. I don't want you to preach to me. But like, yo, but Jesus, this, Jesus. You're like, huh? What's going on here? So you mean to tell me that this person cannot really think for themselves? Tell me what they really think is going on. They have to open a book. Why? Sometimes I can't believe that I once took that book seriously. Like growing up, I once took that book seriously. Like I would read that book sometimes. Like, I mean, I was forced, let me be honest, but I would read it and be like, if my mom says you must read it, so you just open it for like 10 minutes and read something and sleep. I remember this other day when I was still going to church. When was it? It was I think it was 2011. So there's this girl, she's a Christian. Like me and her were friends at the time. She's like, those Christians, those Christians that pray, speak in tongues. So this other day she's preaching where at a youth service. So it's just young people there. She's preaching. I'm holding a Bible. I don't know why I was holding a Bible. It was weird. So she says that someone must open some chapter in the Bible. I'm the only one who's holding a Bible. I don't know how to like find like a book. Like I don't know where the book of where Psalm is, Habakkuk is, and all that. I don't know. I'm the only one who's holding the Bible. So she's like, "Hey, so you gotta open that. You gotta open that chapter and verse for us." It's like shit. Try to open the Bible and I couldn't find it. So I gave the Bible to the guy that was sitting next to me. So that girl called me, like, she wants to pray for me, right? It's like, what's going on here? And then, yeah, he prayed for me, and she said, all the demons that are inside him must leave. Yeah, all the demons that are using him must leave. I was like, what? Because I couldn't open the Bible. Like, I didn't know how to, like, use the Bible. I thought that was funny, but that's the thing, though. It's like some people can't think outside the box. Like, if you are a little different, they just assume that something must be wrong with you, right? It's how they've been programmed to respond in this kind of situation. Because she's never been in a situation where she told someone to open the Bible and find a verse, and they were unable to find a verse. But me, I don't read the Bible. Like I would just open the book and read the part that I found, and that's it. Like I would not just like decide which part of the Bible I'm going to like read. So it was funny. And I remember asking her a week later, like, what was that all about? She was like, I forgot. I was like, no. She didn't forget. She knew exactly what she was doing. She really did think I had demons. But I wasn't offended. I always feel like most people are very, very ignorant. So I kind of expect them to be ignorant, right? I don't expect people, most people, to be very conscious. So I wasn't offended because of that. And that's how you must handle people that you feel, are less conscious than you, or that you feel like are NPCs. You mustn't take them too damn seriously, that you suffer because of their ignorance, right? You suffer because they don't understand you. You suffer because they behave in ways that don't make sense to you. No, you should just let them be. Stop wasting energy, because you do need energy at the end of the day. Like, you do need energy to figure out a lot of things. You are in a confusing reality, so of course you need a lot of energy to figure out what is really going on. So if you focus on people, let's just say the people in your life who don't make sense, maybe your parents, you've interacted with them, in so many different ways. They still don't get you. They still don't understand you, and you are right. You gotta stop giving them energy. If they are wrong, then they need to rise to your level. You don't need to go down to their level. Is it because you always trying to convince them that you're right? Is you going down to their level? Because they're supposed to understand what you understand. They're older than you, right? But you still have to explain to them things that are really basic. So stop giving them your energy. I'm not saying your parents are NPCs, but I'm saying realize that it's possible that you might be living with non-player characters. So it wouldn't be wise to be giving your energy to non-player characters, to characters that are here to deceive you. Maybe the game is that you figure out what's real and what isn't, what makes sense and what doesn't. So if you're dealing with non-player characters, you must say that I'm dealing with non-player characters, or I might be dealing with non-player characters. Of course you can't walk around accusing people of being non-player characters. Of course you can't walk around treating people like they're non-player characters. Like, you don't matter, you're not real. You're operating in a very low level of consciousness. So of course you're not real. So I mustn't treat you like you're real. I owe you money. I must not pay you back because you're an non-player character. You don't feel anything. Like, no. you must only try to protect your energy, right? You treat other people as if they are real like you, it's fine, but when they start behaving like NPCs, when you see that they are behaving like they are operating at a low level of consciousness, don't go down to their level, keep going up. If they are real, they need to rise to your level. You don't need to find yourself over explaining yourself to these people, because you're going to waste a lot of energy. In fact, they thrive when you over explain yourself. That's another thing that I've realized. It's like you're giving them power, bro. In fact, once they realize that you like to explain yourself, they will make you explain yourself more. Like they will behave in ways that are so damn confusing that you always want to explain yourself. You'll be like, but how is it that this person doesn't get this? And then you try to explain, these things to them in ways that you think they should understand. You try to explain these things in ways that even a child will understand, and they still don't get you. And you keep on wasting energy trying to explain yourself to people who ain't programmed to understand you. So you deal with NPCs by protecting your energy at all costs. Like, protect your energy. If you see that someone's behaving like an NPC, protect your energy. As long as you've done the right thing, explain yourself. But if you see that, no, now I have to over-explain myself, pull back. If they don't get you, they won't get you when you explain yourself. Like, even the people who ended up understanding me, they didn't get me at first, right? Like, I'll explain something to them and they will not get it until maybe it's too late. Years later, they come to me and be like, yeah, man, this is what I think about what's going on. And I'm like, this is what I was telling you, and you were telling me that I'm wrong. I've been in so many situations where I'll debate with someone about religion and they'll say that I'm wrong, and then years later they talk to me as if they didn't get it from me that what they were thinking was wrong. But like, how is it that you're saying the same thing that I was saying years ago? When the people start posting the same shit that you've been saying to them years ago on Facebook. Hey, if Jesus was real, this wouldn't be happening. Hey, why is Jesus not doing this? Why is God not doing this? Hey, you're like, this is what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying to you. How is it that you didn't get it back then and now you get it? These people they upgraded these people. Who know? Now they are finding a way back into your life to get more energy from you. Who know? It's like now they agree with you now, so that they will find other ways to get energy from you. But you must stop giving your energy away. Protect your energy at all costs. People must understand what makes sense, bro. The people who subscribe to this channel, these are not people who are like, oh, I didn't get what you were saying, or I didn't think this way. Like, I mean, yes, of course, there will be some new insights that you will reach when you watch my videos. That will happen, but most of the things that I say are the things that resonate with you. These are the things that you were always thinking. These are the things that you've always known. So you subscribe to this channel because you can see that, okay, I'm not alone, right? There are other people who see things the way that I see things. I used to think that I was crazy because I never met people who actually think the way that I think, but now I see that I'm not alone, so you subscribe. I'm not convincing you to believe what I believe. No. I'm making you realize that what you've always thought was true is true. So each and every person who's conscious should have went through the same things that all conscious beings have went through. They must be able to understand the things that all conscious beings understand. Even if we didn't experience some things, but when another conscious being tells me something that is true, I must be able to say that that is true. Even if I didn't experience life from their perspective, maybe they didn't have my bad luck. Maybe things went well for them, but they are conscious. So that means they're able to see what makes sense. You see, to me, consciousness itself is wisdom. You see, there's wisdom in consciousness, in awareness itself. So if you are seeing what's going on, but your interpretation of what is going on is so damn flawed that even when a person tells you the truth, you don't get it, come on. How am I supposed to think you're real? Why don't you get it? You don't get it because you're not supposed to get it. So keep an open mind, when you're dealing with people in this reality. Always keep an open mind. Otherwise, you're going to suffer because you're very naive. There's this game that they like to play. I think they play this game like in almost every city. In Johannesburg, right, you'd find people that they'll create a cycle and they'll have like bottle caps and they'll put something inside a bottle. They'll have 2 bottle caps and they'll put something inside one of them, and they'll move these bottle caps like this and they'll ask you where that thing is. And if you tell them where it is, you win. Like you bet money, maybe bet $100. If you tell them where it is, you win. But the way that the game works is like they'll lower you in by making you win, maybe first and the second time, and then you keep on betting, and then now you start to lose. The way that the game, they play the game is that they'll actually be able to take that thing from inside the bottle cap very fast that you don't see it. Right, hide it on their hand. So they'll play it and then they'll take it, but you don't even see how they take it. Like magicians. And then you keep on losing. So no matter where you pick, you lose, and they'll put it back in the other cap. And then you keep on losing. And the people who will surround those people are all in it. You think that just random strangers who also want to play. Some of them will even play. Like you find them playing actually. Like if you are a stranger in Joburg and you find them playing, you think everyone doesn't know everyone there. They're just strangers to one another, and then you play. You see a person winning a lot of money, and you're like, okay, let me play too, and then boom, you get scammed, you lose. Because you don't know what is going on. So this life might be working like that. You don't know what is actually going on. So things are happening that are confusing you because you don't know what is going on. Imagine if you played a game and you keep on losing and you don't know what's going on. You don't know that everyone is in it, is in on it. You don't know that. And they must be making a lot of money because you find them there every day. That's how they hustle. So they must be making a lot of money because you'd find a group with like 7 people. You're like, damn, how much money are they making a day? Because they wouldn't stand there if they were just making 1,000 a day. They got to be making money. Because people are ignorant, and you try to figure out how are people not even able to realize what is actually going on or how these games are played. If you stand there and not play, or you stand not even like in the cycle, like you just stay far away from them, but you look at how they are playing, they will chase you away. Like it's like fumble. Right. Because they don't want you to figure out how they're playing the game, how they're scamming people. They don't want you to figure out that they're all in it. I think the Bible was right when it said, my people are suffering because of lack of knowledge. That's true. Like, if you really knew what was going on, I don't think you would suffer. Because obviously something really strange is going on. But if you knew for sure what is actually going on, you wouldn't suffer. The same way that if you were in a dream right now and you knew that you were dreaming and a lot of negative things were happening, you wouldn't suffer. You'd be like, it's just a dream. It's not real. So if you were dealing with NPCs and they were acting confused, you'd know that you're dealing with NPCs and you'd be like, it is what it is. I'm not going to suffer just because an NPC is programmed to not understand me or is programmed to confuse me. I don't care. I don't care if you don't understand me. It is what it is. You can continue being ignorant. I'm right, and I'm right because I've done what I needed to do to be right. You are wrong because supposed to be wrong. So why should I go down to your level, or why should I waste my energy trying to convince you that I'm right? Because you weren't even programmed to understand that I'm right. You were programmed to respond the way that you are responding. There are people in your life, and this is one of the biggest reasons why I'm saying I don't think it's the best idea to have children. Let's say you have a child and that child just behaves in ways that don't make any sense. You try to reason with the child and they behave in ways that don't make sense. They steal from you. They do. There's nothing that you can do to make them behave better. You're just suffering now because you brought them into this world. It's better to not have that many things that you'll automatically be attached to, right? Try to be as free as possible so that the people who will be in your life are people who make sense, are people who are doing things in ways that actually make sense, in ways that they can explain, in ways that you can understand, so that you won't find yourself wasting your energy and suffering because of these people. So if there are people in your life who don't make sense, withdraw your energy, right? Stop giving them energy. If they don't make sense, stop giving them energy. The truth is actually more obvious than we would like to realize, but we think that it isn't because a lot of people don't seem to understand it. So we think, hey, we're just intelligent and all that. What if that is not what is true? What if we don't understand the truth because we're intelligent? We understand the truth because we are conscious. And every conscious being will be able to see the truth. They will be able to see what actually makes sense. So the truth is actually what makes sense. Right? What makes sense in this situation, knowing what we know, what makes sense to believe. That is what is true. If we get to know something that we didn't know, what makes sense now knowing what we know? That is what truth is. You go with what actually makes sense now. That is what is true. Even if you are wrong, it is what is true, because knowing what you know, that's what actually makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Knowing what you know, the truth is what makes sense. Knowing what you know. It isn't, even if you are wrong, still, what you felt was true, knowing what you know. That's what you must get. So if people know what they know, but still don't reach the same conclusion, then something is wrong. It means that maybe some of them are just, they might seem like they are conscious the same way that other people are conscious, but they're not. So you need to start considering other possibilities when you're dealing with people, right? That things might not be what they seem, right? That reality might not be what it seems. Like there might be a lot going on that you might not be realizing is going on. I might have to watch this. Ever walked around a big city and you ask yourself if each and every person that you are seeing is actually self-aware? You're like, so each and every person here have their own lives, they have their own thoughts, they have their own internal monologue. Really? I remember there's this video that I came across on TikTok. This guy was like inside a plane and he was taking a video. And he was like, "Do you expect me to believe that the people who are down there, all of them have their own lives, they have their own problems?" I'm not into New Age spirituality, but Dolores Cannon kind of had a point when she talked about soulless beings. What did she call them? I think she had a special name for them. Like, ever went to a place and there's no one? Like, you go to a place. Let's just say you rush to a place, like you rush to a mall. Like, you're not supposed to be there, but you rush to that place, and then you find that there ain't that many people, and then all of a sudden now there's many people. You're like, what? Or you'd be like, have you ever seen your neighbor bring in a grocery or something? Or you go to a mall and you find people in these shops where no one buys anything, and you're like, how are these people able to pay their bills? Because no one buys anything. Like, you can wait you can wait at the door for like an hour and no one enters, and you're like, huh, how many people buy stuff from these people? Like, some of this shit doesn't seem real. Sometimes it just feels like reality is created for you. Like, it's all about you. You might feel like you're paranoid, but sometimes it does really feel that way, that all of it is about you. It's not about anyone else. It's really about you. Like, things just happen for you, so that you react. Do we live with NPCs? I don't know, but I think it makes sense to think that there are NPCs in this world, bro. Thank you all, guys.